missed you. Hi, Facebook friends. This is a very dear friend and my spiritual healer, Donna Lakes. She owns Ascension Healing over in Southfield off of Lasher and 11 Mile. Oh, Ascension Healing Arts Center. That's right. Yep. And I've taken a few classes with you already, managing your energy, intuitive development. I've already felt like I've learned so much. I just want you to explain to me what it is to exactly, what is Ascension? What is Ascension Healing? What does that involve?
Okay, very deep. Okay. So Ascension is basically, it's another name for like enlightenment or your spiritual journey, and it means to elevate, to lift up, to ascend. That's what Ascension is. So to lift up into a higher dimension, a higher consciousness, a new way of being. So I'm essentially teaching people a new way of being. And the healing that I do is, and actually Ascension is quite involved when you get into the astrology of it. We're in these like cycles of ages, and like we have like the, like we have the golden age, the dark ages,
Right.
the middle ages.
Yeah.
We also have these way bigger ages that are based on astrology. And I don't really want to get into that, but we are entering a new age. Just know that. And, when I do my podcast, I'll get into that more deeply. It's quite involved and very scientific. And I'm a lot more, like, intuitive than I am scientific. And I kind of channeled all this and learned all this through spirit through my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I would read here or there or see someone talk here or there, and they would talk about the same things, or I'd read the same things, and I'd be like, oh my god, like confirmation, right?
Yeah.
And I can remember in 2012 being like, oh my god, this shit is really happening. Like I always believed in it, but I was like, it's going down now.
Yeah.
And now it's really going down.
Yeah.
So I would like to say for all of you out there that the world is crazy right now, and it's been increasingly getting crazier, and this is not the end of the road. It's going to continue to blow up.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel the energy. It's making me tired. I know that the Lionsgate portal is opening up. Was it on the 8th or on the 9th?
It started opening up before that, but it was at its peak on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is all about stepping into your power. And so, like, you're going to go through stages right now. The universe is going to bring you challenges that are going to make you have to step into your power.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall out of your power because you can't learn to be in your power without experiencing giving away your power. Now, we were taught to give away our power.
Right.
We were taught that power is domination, control,
Mm-hmm.
and manipulation, basically.
Right.
And
that's kind of what's going on with politics and stuff in today's day and age.
Right.
Yeah.
Based on the more toxic male energy. We have yin and yang, that's like male and female energy. And
right.
So we've been predominantly in the masculine energy and in toxin, meaning out of balance masculine.
Yeah.
And now we're coming into a time where the divine feminine has been coming back into our lives, and we're getting acquainted with it. And
right.
then we must learn to balance them out. And the work all starts within.
Yeah.
And so, Spirit says to me, if you change within, that's the only way you're going to change society and change out. So
right.
my mission, my purpose is to help change humanity's consciousness, help them to evolve in their consciousness.
Right. An ascension to healing within.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ascension healing I only ever really studied Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
I was always kind of psychic. And then when I studied Reiki, I think I started like really channeling and really like it's like my intuition, my psychicness rounded. And I saw a purpose for it before. It just like gave me anxiety, and I didn't know how to handle it or what to do with it.
Yeah.
It was out of control. But
Yeah.
I started to get control over it, and as I did body work,
Mm-hmm.
I incorporated energy healing, and because I was a body worker, I went to Irene's, and I actually studied energy healing first.
Oh, wow.
Under Michelle Sobel.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to Irene's, and Irene was very big into energy.
Okay.
And so she was a great teacher for me.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that part of it, and developed that skill more. But like my intuition took over when I would work on people, and I allowed it to. And I learned so much every time I worked on people. Not only did I like learn things to help them, but I learned things for me too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I kind of developed the work over the years of like what I do, and then Spirit would be like, see this pattern? Okay, now make a workshop for it.
Yeah.
See this? Now make a workshop for it. See this? Okay, now make a program for this.
Now, you speak of Spirit all the time, and for me, being raised Catholic, like it was,
So was I.
see, yeah, perfect. I don't really believe everything in the Catholic Church and all of these things that the Catholic Church requires you to do. And now I have been baptized. I had my communion and confirmation in the Catholic Church, and I have God in my heart and soul. And people say, "Oh, well, how come you don't go to church every Sunday?" I don't believe that having a place to worship with other people is necessary, because my spiritualness and my spirit, like you were just talking about, is within me. And I pray to the Blessed Mother, because my grandmother always prayed to the Blessed Mother. She said, she's the most divine because she gave birth to Christ, And so when you talk of spirit, what do you mean, spirit? Like,
I mean, I use, different terms, God, Spirit, Universe, Goddess, Creator, Source.
right, Mother Earth.
Spirit could be like spirit guides, but everything is one, and so it's within all of us. And it also, there's separation, but that's just an illusion. So it's really all one. But you can look at it as separate. You can look at it as one. And spirit's also like higher self. So
Yeah.
that part of us which is divine. We are human, having this human experience, but we are also divine. And we are spirit, we are energy.
Right.
We are a soul.
Right. We are we're our own temple.
And we have in our bodies, and within us, we have all the information. We have it in every cell, in every part of our being. Like people talk about the Akashic records and kind of having to like go to the Akashic records. But you don't have to go to anywhere because it's all in here.
Right.
It's all in here.
Right. And that's so powerful, that message. Like, we have our own power within ourselves. How do you tap into that? What do you need to do, moving forward to help you tap into your spiritual being and ascend, like, the ascension of healing, because that's what we're working on together. And I've learned already so much. And, I want to let the public and all my Facebook friends know, that you can tap into this, and that we can all be a part of a higher being and a higher self-worth and higher, self-confidence, and knowing that we have this power within ourselves. So can you explain that a little bit to me, and how we open up like our own spiritual being?
Well, okay, so if you want, all of this weird stuff going on
Yeah.
is making people open up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's making people open up, and that's part of the purpose of things, but it's also like the death.
Yeah.
And then we're rebirthing the new. So we really need to focus on the seeds that are planted. So what I would say, yoga is to union. So yoga, meditation, prayer. I have a workshop called Coming Home to Yourself. It's all about getting in touch with your human self and your personality, but also with the divinity within you.
Yeah.
Your higher self. And there's a specific meditation that you can do that I teach, like getting in touch with your higher self. But just holding intention. All you ever need is to hold intention.
Yeah.
And you can make any kind of ritual you want.
Yeah.
It's
And what kind of intention? Like a positive, like focus, or?
So if you want to get in touch with your higher self, basically, just hold the intention up. I want to get in touch with higher self. I want to be in touch with the universe. I want to be in touch with, God. And just holding that intention. And prayer and meditation. Now, there's a couple different ways of looking at things. So, meditation is listening
Yeah.
to God.
Yeah.
But it also can be stillness of the mind. But you
Yeah.
can't listen unless you're still.
Right.
And prayer is asking of the universe or God.
Yeah.
It's a request
Mm-hmm.
or purposeful manifestation, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple different ways to pray and to meditate. And so, doing breath work.
Yeah, when you taught that breath of fire, when we were in our managing our energy class, that was incredible. I have now explained that to probably a dozen or 24 people about the breath of fire. And I've actually done it with a few people and showed them how to do it and how easy it was once you understand what you're trying to do. And the uplifting feeling, the energy that I got afterwards was just incredible. How everything kind of like centered again. I was centered. And I felt so good walking out of that class. What does that
Specifically, the one that we did builds up your aura and makes it stronger.
Yeah.
Too.
It was so cool. So these are some of the things that you've taught in your managing your energy class. Now, how many times a month do you offer the managing your energy class?
That is the one I offer monthly. Well, no, not monthly. I guess intuitive development I offer monthly. Managing your energy, I will do it like 4 months in a row, maybe take a month off.
Mm-hmm.
Do 4 months in a row and take a month off because it's a prerequisite for my healer program.
Oh,
I do
okay.
it quite often.
Uh-huh.
Because I have programs that start, in each season except for summer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Facebook friends, all you guys need to check out the Managing Your Energy class and learning how to meditate and, focusing on, your core and your aura and focusing on your chakras. And that's another thing too I wanted to ask you. Can you explain a little bit about the chakras and how they affect your soul and your body and your spirit? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I kind of describe it like when I teach about energy, which I teach in managing your energy, the basics of, energy anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of Ascension is you've got to learn about energy.
Yeah.
You got to start working with your own energy.
Yeah.
You develop your intuition. Like that is all. That's why all of this stuff is so popular now.
Yeah.
I've been working with empaths for like 1,000 years, but like I created that in 2006. That workshop, but Spirit had been teaching me for a while.
Yeah.
I started it, but it's always growing and evolving. But those are some of the basic first steps that you want to do. And grounding is so important. Grounding your energy, learning about that is really, really, really key.
Yeah.
Key importance, especially now with all the turmoil going on. But the chakras, I kind of look at it as like, that's kind of where our spirit plugs into our physical body.
Okay.
Or our body plugs into our physical body plugs into our spiritual body.
Right.
Really, our spiritual body is much bigger
Mm-hmm.
than our physical body.
Yeah.
But just like you have the physical anatomy, we have energetic anatomy as well. And so basically the life force that is us, our spirit, our soul, however you want to call it, these are major points
Mm-hmm.
in your physical body where that life force feeds us to be alive. This is how I look at it.
Yeah.
I was taught this. This is just like my take.
That's a good way of looking at it, though.
And so it governs different organs and glands in the body. So
Mm-hmm.
the energy, as the life force feeds into the physical body there, it gives energy to those parts. And so when things are misaligned or blocked, it blocks the energy there.
Yeah.
And then, and so I call it like the central nervous system to the energetic body.
Yeah, to the soul,
to the main chakras are aligned, with that
Uh-huh.
central nervous system. But also, they also govern different parts of our personality and
Yeah.
our humanness.
Mm-hmm.
Like the root chakra is all about safety and security and how we feel in the world and are we grounded, are we not grounded.
Yeah.
which has a lot to do with our centering and our footing.
And that's the bottom chakra next to the pelvis?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like in your tailbone.
Mm-hmm.
Pubic bone area. And so, and each one has, you know, a purpose.
Right.
And governs a certain aspect of our being.
Yeah. And so how many other chakras are there in the body? And can you explain a little bit more about past the root chakra? Then we have the
Then we have the sacral chakra.
sacral chakra. Okay.
The solar plexus.
Yep.
Then the heart. And these are the earth, throat, third eye, crown.
Okay.
Now there are chakras above our body, below our body. There are millions of chakras in our body.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was just, was it the 8? Is there 8 or 7? 7.
The main 7 in the physical body along the central nervous system are the most known.
Okay.
And they govern, you know, our physical body.
Cool.
Not that the others don't, but I mean the major organs and glands and parts of our personality and our being.
So to kind of tie things together, you know, how can we get some more information about Ascension healing and how we can, you know, tap into those chakras and our spirit and, you know, healing?
So Ascension healing is what I call what I did. I used to call it healing with the Holy Spirit at first, evolved, and then I called it intuitive healing, and then now I call it Ascension healing. And Ascension healing, because it encompasses intuitive healing, it encompasses almost like hypnotherapy and working with the subconscious, inner child work, and within inner child work, there's all these things that are involved too. So this is how I see it. 95% we operate from our subconscious, and people are constantly trying to work from the conscious, and it's hard. It's hard work. We're constantly working against this 95% tile of how we think, act, perform, and be in the world. Right?
Yeah.
So we have to change our subconscious in order to ascend.
Right.
Really, because our beliefs, our experience in the world, our collective beliefs and our personal beliefs in our world create our reality.
Yeah.
Law of attraction. Bing and a bang and a boom. Right? So, you know, I've played around with this since I was 19 with the law. And it's true. Sometimes it's hard to see where it's coming from, but it is true.
Yeah.
So, and with that there, where I was going to. So Ascension healing. So with Ascension healing, simply put, in psychological terms, what I'm doing and what my trained healers are doing is we are getting you in touch with all aspects of yourself.
Okay.
Not just your inner child.
Okay.
But your beliefs are formed from 0 to 7.
Yeah.
And your personality.
Yeah.
It's done. It's baked.
Right.
And it's cooked in. And that's what makes up our subconscious is those formative years, but also the collective.
Yeah.
The collective of our community, of our family, of the world.
Right.
You know, all these different collectives. And so, so what we do is when you come in for a healing, our purpose is to bring you into self-love. It's to retrain you. It's to undo the brainwash.
Right.
And teach you your truth, help guide you to your truth.
Yeah.
And we are just jumper cables.
Yeah.
And
That's a good way of putting it.
Work, we're just guide.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's a combination of like Reiki or pranic healing. It's hypnotherapy, the inner child work, like I said. And so when you come in, we tap into you. And we use our intuition to figure out, we have certain stages that we have to set for your psyche.
Right.
To learn these things, and we start reteaching you some things.
Yeah.
Like, you consciously might know the law of attraction, but subconsciously, you don't know the law of attraction. So one of the things we do is we teach the subconscious, we teach the aspects, the law of attraction. We do what's called the energy hookup, which is kind of like a connection to the earth and
Mm-hmm.
the heavens, and that helps you. And that meditation, actually, when you're asking me what can we do,
Yeah.
that meditation, that is on my website, and that is the greatest place to start. Because
Awesome.
It grounds you, it connects you, and it protects your energy.
So we can start there. Can you tell us what the website is?
It's ascensionhealingartcenter.com.
Okay.
DonnaLeaks.com also goes there, but sometimes it says it's not secure, but it is. It's just because to
Have merged.
yeah.
Okay. So Ascension Healing Arts
Center.
Center.com. And is there a phone number that we can reach you there, like to get in touch with healers? So what's the phone number at Ascension
And
Healing
you can
Arts?
make appointments online as well. But if you want to talk to a healer and get a taste for them, then it's 888-824-1970.
Okay.
And there's even extensions for different ones. So
Perfect. And so with COVID kind of still scaring people to, come out of the house, and there's a lot of people that are still kind of apprehensive about going places. Can you do healings over the phone?
Absolutely. You can do healings long distance. Everything is connected in a grid of energy more than you could possibly even fathom.
Awesome.
So we can tap into anyone's energy anywhere they are in the world.
Awesome.
And it's all over the world.
So that process, if we were going to do a healing or even a managing your energy, everything, like, you can do Zoom. Okay.
And, we have an allotted amount in person. So
Okay.
if you want to come in person and you live in the Detroit area, we're in Southfield. We lost her in 11 Mile. And, we're allowed to have 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching room.
Yeah, you have a very beautiful place of business. It's absolutely awesome. You walk in there, yeah.
On the inside.
Well, no, no, it's even great on the outside. It doesn't matter. I mean, right? It's only skin deep. But once you get inside, it feels so safe and it feels so secure, and everything is so clean. And you burn the essential tea tree oils to kill all of the germs, and you have, so I mean,
We burn oils, or we have diffusers for oils constantly going. They're antiviral, antibacterial. We burn sage, which kills microbials in the air.
yeah.
And I have everything non-chemical, actually, like a natural, pretty powerful cleanser that they use to clean black mold in houses.
Oh, wow.
That I use too. That's mostly made from palm oil, which is very antiviral.
Yeah.
And that stuff is powerful. And
Yeah, it
it's
is.
really hard to get. It was out. They use it in hospitals and everything.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't make me react. Like, I'm chemical sensitive.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
It doesn't make me react. I could spray that right on me, and I have.
Yeah.
And we spray everything down and wash everything down.
That's
It's all
awesome.
good. We have a temperature taker. We have forms people fill out, make sure they don't have the symptoms, all that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, just to make sure that it's safe for everybody to come into Ascension Healing Arts Center in Southfield. Is
Go back and finish explaining the healing process.
Oh, uh-huh.
When you do a healing, so we set stages, and then we collect beliefs, and then we begin to work on the beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And when we work on the beliefs, that's when we have to go in and do the inner child work and go to where it very began.
Yeah.
There's also a past, a parallel life aspect to it too.
Yeah.
That some are trained in. That's in my advanced course. But mostly we have to tackle this life in retraining our brains and rewiring our energetic system. Every belief has a grid of energy.
Right.
Every cell and every part of us. So we have to, once we disprove a belief and get you believing in a different way with your inner child.
Yeah.
And clear traumas and things like that.
Yeah.
Then we do what's called dismantling and rewiring.
Yeah.
And there's we do womb healing, ancestral healing, we do forgiveness work, we do integration, which is kind of like a soul retrieval thing.
Yeah.
It's very psychological,
Mm-hmm.
but also very spiritual. spiritual and etheric, and our whole point is to bring people into self-love.
Yeah.
And then into empowerment. You can't be empowered if you don't have self-love.
Right.
And, you know, I'm going through the process just like anybody else.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so right now you're going to be going through, you know, people have different stages of awakening and on their journey, and there is a process, but it's also, you know, there's order, but doesn't, like, everybody has their own order to their own
Right. Well,
process of the journey.
Yeah, we're all individuals, and we all meet, you know, at different places, even in life, you know, like if you're going through a tough time in your relationship, or you just had a baby, or, I mean, we're all at different places in our lives at all points in time. So that makes complete sense.
Yeah, and people come to us, like, you know, from severe things of, like, molestation or rape to, I want to change my career.
Right.
Or, I'm depressed. I have anxiety.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of depression and anxiety, and managing your energy is the most important thing if you have depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
So
So what are some things that people can do if we go to like a healing store, right? With all the sage, and everybody loves those stores. I mean, I used to walk in, there was one that my best friend Alexis and I used to go into all the time, and it was right in downtown Dearborn. And they had all the rocks and all the sage and all the stuff. And we would literally just walk around and learn things as we were in there. What are some things that people can pick up from those stores, like essential oils or maybe a good book?
there's a good oil for relaxation if you have anxiety. It also transmutes energy. It's great to put in some salts in the bath.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I go to a hotel and I don't have sage,
Yeah.
I take lavender oil and I sprinkle it around the room, and then I bless it with with Reiki
Okay.
energy. Let's see. And then
So sage.
they have different oils for different, like, things, like release oil. Like, I used to, like, a lot of empaths, we learn to suppress our feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Because we felt so much.
Yeah.
That we kind of closed down too hard. We closed down our own feelings. So
That was me.
release oil from Young Living is a great one that helped me. And every once in a while I have to pull it out, but I'm much better at, like, allowing myself to release, whether it's, like, frustration or stress.
Yeah.
I love to cry now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's okay to, you know, like you should be able to release that. I mean, during the healing that you gave me, I had my eyes closed, and we were talking about my inner child in all stages of my life, from the time that I was in my mother's womb until I was a young child. And I started to cry,
yes,
you know, it was
reconnect.
release. Yeah.
When they're so disassociated, and then they reconnect with those parts of themselves.
It was
Or
incredible.
sometimes when they reconnect with the earth, they cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they reconnect with source, they cry. But mostly ourselves, because it's like we've abandoned ourselves.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a nice reconnection there. And yeah, learning, like, one of the great things, and one of the first things you do in the first healing that she's talking about is, like, learning what you need that you're not getting.
Right.
Like, being in touch with yourself. Now, some people can't communicate. They're so shut down that it takes them a while to be able to communicate with their aspects.
Yeah.
And
I know a few people too that don't like to admit, you know, like that they're feeling sad, or that they're feeling, you know, vulnerable. Yeah. Or,
afraid to get vulnerable.
yeah. I mean, it's important to understand, you know, all that it's okay. All those emotions, it's okay. It's expression.
There's strength in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's strength in, like, letting yourself cry or do anger release techniques, because those emotions have a purpose.
Yeah.
And they show us, like, boundaries.
Yeah.
And they show us where we need healing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so, and they're meant to be expressed. Just learning how to express them in a healthy way, and not being afraid of our dark side.
Yeah.
You know, embracing our darkness. That's another part of Ascension, is learning to love your darkest part.
Yeah.
you know. And
You talked about anger release. I remember, I'd work at restaurants and I'd be waiting tables and there would be some rude people, that I was waiting on. And, to make a long story short, I would go into the back cooler where it was completely soundproof. And our manager told us to go in there if we were upset. We're not supposed to show it on the floor. We had to be positive and kind and generous and, all that stuff on the floor. But then if you had to release, just go into the back cooler, and scream.
Yeah.
And that felt so good. And I didn't even know that I was doing anger release therapy then, but that's exactly,
That's a really good manager.
I mean, that manager probably had some Reiki training or something,
Yeah.
So I don't know. There are things that you can do like that. Screaming into a pillow.
Or water, like if you're taking a bath, screaming into the water.
Into the water. Okay.
Taking
That's
rocks and throwing it into the water and just like saying what you need to say. Hopefully nobody's around. Writing letters and burning them.
uh-huh.
So that energy burns away.
Yeah.
Funny story. So a very common one is taking a tennis racket and hitting a pillow or a baseball bat.
Uh-huh.
Something like that, and hitting a pillow while you say what you need to say.
Yeah.
So when my son was a teenager, he got really, really angry once. And I had taught him this. In fact, one time I took him outside and, now they have these rage rooms, which I think are awesome. And before the COVID,
Rage rooms?
Yeah, before the COVID, I was like, I want to go to a rage room where you just throw plates and shit.
Really?
And then they have this place around the corner, they have where you throw axes.
Oh my gosh.
And stuff, you can throw darts, play drums. I've done where I've gone down and got on my son's drums and played them.
Yeah.
One time I put a tarp out here, and Craig and I, we threw plates.
Oh my
I
gosh.
worked with him to get his hanger out, because especially young boys who
Yeah.
have testosterone, they get
Oh my gosh.
angry.
Yeah.
And there was never a place for my anger.
Right.
I was a peacekeeper in the family, so
Yeah.
I held in a lot of anger. But, so one time he was really upset, only he did it at midnight. He took his baseball bat,
Uh-huh.
which was not a wooden one.
Oh God, a metal one? Oh God.
He had this old radio out of his car. He was 17.
Uh-huh.
And his arm was broken too. And he's swinging around a bat. I'm like, oh my God. And he started hitting his radio. And he was like, you told me to do anger release. I'm like, yeah, but not at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, the neighbors might be calling.
And the neighbor did call the police. I was like,
Oh God.
I'm sorry. They thought it was funny.
Yeah. So speaking of young children, I have a little boy. He's 9. And, just this morning, he was pretty angry because he wanted to see my mother-in-law's puppy. And he started kind of getting a little agitated with his dad and I. And, can you do healings on children as well as adults? I know that.
Absolutely. And we have a healer that actually specializes in children, and she teaches them managing your energy. She's everything that we teach the adults. She has a children's program that she's starting.
Awesome. What's her name?
Katie Sass.
Okay.
She's on the website. I used to work a lot with children. I know Samantha's worked with some children. I'm trying to think who else. Joycelyn.
Okay.
But Katie is kind of the children's expert. Like coming into this, she already worked with kids working on self-esteem.
Okay.
So that's what we want to do. We want to raise these kids differently than we were raised, so we don't have to undo all the damage.
Right.
It's such hard work.
Yeah.
Such hard work to, we want to raise them in a whole different way.
Yeah.
My son's much more conscious than anyone. I mean, he's constantly watching conscious shows. Like, that's what he mostly watches.
Yeah.
Thank God. He's 20 years old and he's, trying to find his way. And I always say to him, like, don't get stuck on, and I say this to you out there too, don't get stuck on what's wrong with the world.
Right.
And focus on that. And that's very dangerous for an empath. And he's
Yeah.
extremely empathic and hasn't learned to manage his energy completely yet.
Yeah.
Because
He's 20.
Right.
Right.
But he wrote
He wants
me
to come
the
in
other
his
day,
own.
And he said, I'm starting to get more firm with my spiritual practice.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat healthier, la 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 la.
Aw.
So they always come back to you, the basics of what you taught. They will rebel. I mean, he rebelled 16.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to just come into himself with it. I
Yeah.
did get him into transcendental meditation when he was 17, when he was acting out a lot.
Yeah.
And that really helped.
Okay.
Really helped.
Cool.
And he likes it.
Yeah, that's some great information. Can any healing help with like children that are teething or something like
Sure.
that?
I've worked with babies with like weird things, like very bizarre things wrong with them.
Yeah.
We've worked with, you know, I've worked with people and babies and children with things that are very rare or unheard of or whatever. Yes, and you can create physical healing with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be instant, but sometimes we have to work with the psychology behind it, because every illness or dis-ease in the body,
Mm-hmm.
even to like spraining our ankle, there's a reason for it, and there's a thought.
Right.
There's a thought behind it of like why, that is. Like
Yeah.
autoimmune, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Autoimmune, you know what the pattern behind that is? I have to defend and protect myself.
Really?
And if you think about it,
Yeah.
the body overprotecting itself.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
so
Your
much so that
cells.
it's attacking the body.
Right.
But also these people that have it, they're very hard on themselves.
Yeah.
Because they grew up with people having been hard on them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be peers or family members.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just an example. And
That's
then
awesome.
Sometimes